This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. There's plenty to be thankful for. Your friends, family, and the fact that you can now get NFL Sunday Ticket for only $89. So thank yourself this holiday season and watch every game every Sunday when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Offer ends December 2nd. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Rated T to M. Hey, want to hear a PC Game Pass ad? I'll take your silence as a yes. Want new games on day one like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 or Stalker 2? I thought so. How about unlocking all the League of Legends champions when you link your Riot Games account? All for one low monthly price? Well, guess what? We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass or click the banner. Stalker 2 available November 20th, 2024. Game catalog varies by region and over time. And that's the end of the script.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Euro Incision Game Week 5. History was made because it's the first time ever we are recording a Euro Incision podcast where we beat a team called Real Madrid, or as my co-host informed me, a team from Madrid in general. Guy, welcome back.
God, I hate Madrid. Oh, they cause so much pain. It doesn't make up for it, but it's so nice to actually have beaten them. I think we have beaten Atletico because I think we had them in the group stage, but in meaningful games, God, that city's just cursed us for so bloody long.
Is this the first time we've beaten them since Rafa Benitez?
Yeah, 2009, I think it was.
Bloody hell. Oh my gosh. And we played them an awful lot of times as well. Right, so Liverpool beating Real Madrid. It is a massive game for the Reds this week. So talk to me about this. Obviously, they've had injuries. We had injuries. What did you make?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because, I mean, I'm talking about the relief there of beating Real Madrid, but going into the game, maybe it's because we're basically already through. We know what our fixtures left were after Madrid, and it's like, we need like a win, and then we're through. It didn't feel like, usually in these Champions League games, I'm kind of on edge, I'm nervous. Whereas this, I was just like, yeah, this is it. Not pre-seasoning may be the wrong word. Almost felt like a Community Shield match where it was a bit of fun. It's a really weird feeling, but yeah, it just felt like something to look forward to rather than have some anxiety about. It was a really strange feeling going into it, but obviously Madrid, I think Madrid slightly caught up to Barca at the weekend because Barca dropped some points. But Real have obviously had a bit of a dodgy start to the season. You're coming into this game, they're missing Vinny, Tchouaméni, centre-backs, full-backs. We're obviously missing a couple, but not as bad as their injuries, obviously, but like, you're just coming in there and I'm just more intrigued. I'm like, how's Conor Bradley going to do against Mbappe? I'm not sat there like Mbappe is going to torch Conor Bradley. It was really weird. But it was almost, I'm looking forward to a game against our bogey team. It's really weird.
Funny thing is, though, you don't even get stressed. So, like, I've never seen you, or maybe you're never on a podcast, but you're always like, I don't know, you don't give, you seem very calm. You've got honest lot vibes going on for you there. But you spoke about Conor Bradley there, and I mean, my word, what a performance and what a game he had.
It's really good, isn't it? Because at the weekend he had a bit of a dodgy game, didn't he? He didn't have the. He just looked he looked a bit rusty, which I suppose he did play for Northern Ireland, which may have knocked it off, but he hasn't played a lot for us this year. So coming into this game, as I said, I was kind of looking forward to the duel, but at the same time, you sat there like, he is playing against Mbappe, which we probably should have a conversation about Mbappe after we've praised our team, because that's an interesting one. But no, he was fantastic. That tackle alone, just the crowd was exceptional, but the roar after that tackle was chef's kiss. It was beautiful. But the way he basically, Mbappe didn't have a kick of the ball apart from the penalty, which he missed, or who saved. But the second half, I think Conor Bradley just exploded into life. Him and Mo Salah connected really well down the right. The first half, he probably a bit more patient. I think he didn't really attack loads. Maybe they were just thinking, okay, Mbappe might start fast, so be a bit more defensive. In the second half, I thought he was just everywhere. Obviously,
He just got a ball as well, right? That beautiful ball by Mac, and obviously he repays the favour and obviously gets the assist from Mac.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're spot on.
And it's a really weird, because we've obviously got a situation with our first choice right back. Now, I'm not saying Conor Bradley is the obvious Trent successor if Trent is to go to the team we just played. But if he plays like that and he keeps getting opportunities this season, whether it's the remaining Champions League games because they're not that important anymore, or we've got the Carabao Cup in a week and a bit, haven't we, or 2 weeks or whatever it is, he is going to eventually put his name in the hat to be the replacement. Now, that doesn't mean we don't need to sign a right back, but if he keeps performing like this and performed like he did in the second half of last season, we have a hell of a right back there. And it's kind of just a shame for him that we have the best right back in the world ahead of him.
I guess the same could be said of the goalkeeper as well.
Absolutely.
You know, he had very little to do. But when called into action, the penalty save, getting Alisson Becker to smile in the stands as well. I mean, it is a great place to be. The fact that you are playing Real Madrid and you've got Kelleher in net and you're unbothered by it, and he proves why you're unbothered by it by delivering that kind of performance and that kind of concentration. And I think, as great as our defense is, and our defense is great, I think a goalkeeper is an instrumental role in the psyche of the defense. And I feel like the defense don't really freak out when Kelleher's there. And that's testament to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, remember under Rafa, and occasionally Reina would get injured and we had to bring in like Cavalieri, or who the hell else did we have as a backup keeper under Reina, under Rafa? But they weren't great, and you could tell the confidence wasn't there. Even later stages, like, I know we didn't really have a good goalkeeper since Reina forgot how to goalkeeper up until Ali. Like, I was sad for Karius, but even when like Mignolet wasn't there and we had to bring in Brad Jones or, God forbid, Bogdan, you could see it then, and that was from a very low ceiling to a very, very low floor. Whereas now it's just like Kelleher, you just feel like he would probably start for, oh God, probably not City, probably not Arsenal.
Chelsea, yes.
Chelsea, definitely. Tottenham, you could probably argue with Vicario. United, Onana's probably got a higher ceiling, but we've seen his flaw, and Jesus. But yeah, not to go for every team, but he'd probably start for at least like 15 of the Premier League sides. And that's our backup keeper. And then we've got Yaros, who we've seen have an excellent game as well.
Yeah, I guess this was. I remember, didn't I think about him, I had to Google him. It is a very, very strange place to be. I mean, talking about this game, Guy, for me as a whole, it was played at some great intensity. I felt like we made it really hard for Real Madrid. I want you to talk about Mbappe in a minute, but just overall, the performance, I felt like everybody put in a shift. Everybody was working hard. Everybody was working for the team. There was a lot of energy. There's a lot of... I felt like the pressing was exceptional in the first half. I felt like it was like quick snap kind of, don't let them settle on the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you to sum up the game in one moment, and it's one we nearly scored from, it's when Salah nicked the ball from Mbappe in the halfway line and set up Darwin. Like, Mbappe was crowned as the successor to Messi many years ago, undeservedly so, because when Mbappe's on it, he's clearly the best player in the world. We've seen that in the France performances and World Cup performances, etc. But you look at this season and probably recent seasons, like Mo Salah picking someone's pocket on the halfway line, skinning a couple of people, then sending a sumptuous pass towards Darwin. This season, Salah's just on a different level. And it's almost like a different reality type thing. Imagine if Mbappe joined us instead of PSG. Now, this is going to sound like Liverpool romanticism, and I don't really care. It's probably going to sound like Klopp romanticism. But I think someone made a point in one of my WhatsApp groups yesterday that Mbappe was kind of infected by PSG with Neymar and Messi in the later stages. And he kind of has become the next Neymar, where if he wanted to become the next Ronaldo or Messi, it's impossible to be the next Messi. But if he wanted to become the next Ronaldo, imagine if he joined Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool and he was playing with someone who has the work rate and the intensity and the dedication of someone like Mo Salah. I just wonder if he would be a different player. You get what I mean? Like, he had so much power at PSG, and I think he's almost become lazy. Whereas you look at Mo Salah, like, we had games this season where he's tracking back at playing right back for like halves of games. It's like, in terms of learning from a wide forward, like, bar peak Messi and peak Ronaldo, I mean, Salah should be number one for everyone else. He's the ideal.
I don't need a VPN. I've got nothing to hide. Ha. This is what I used to tell myself before I hooked up with LibertyShield.com. Not only is my home internet now fully encrypted, but I can now access all the websites I want, whenever I want, and do so from absolutely anywhere. As a Liverpool fan, I love to know I can now watch every match, regardless of whether it's on UK TV or not. My Liberty Shield VPN makes sure nothing is blocked and guarantees me super fast streaming speed throughout that match. You can get connected right now with their software package, which includes a 48-hour no-obligation free trial and instant access to their apps for Apple, Android, Fire TV, PC, Mac and Android TV. Or go a step further like I have and get one of their pre-configured VPN routers. These small but powerful devices allow you to easily connect every device in your home to VPN, making it the perfect solution for smart TVs, Mac boxes and games consoles. Visit LibertyShield.com today and use coupon code AIVPN25 to get 25% off at checkout.
Teacher, you want to be as understood. He's literally the
mentor, isn't he? You look at him and you will learn so much from him because he puts such a shift. I agree with you. You're right about Mbappe. I mean, the talent is there, the quality is there. You don't write him off. You never do. But obviously, when you're a young player and you're playing against these, a team of like superstars, which PSG essentially were, they were a mishmash of like names and has-been kind of players. And it does rub off on you. And then you start, like you said, he had so much power. And last season, obviously, it was his last season. And the whole, like, I don't know, taking the club to the cleaners with regards to, are you going to sign? You're not going to sign. And, and of course, he's gone to Real Madrid. He got his dream move. And, he's playing that wide. And, he just looked a little, he just seemed a little lost in it all. And I feel like, it's, Carlo Ancelotti's the right guy for him, I reckon, but I think they need to fix up and he needs to fix up. But I'm personally thrilled that he had a quiet game. I think that, can you imagine being Conor Bradley at his age thinking, I had Mbappe in my pocket? Like, just think about that from a psychological perspective. That is going to do wonders for him. It was a madness game. He missed a penalty. Kelleher saved the penalty. Which was wonderful. But I thought Robertson had a really good game, he started the first half really well. I thought there was a lot of industry from him. I thought he was working really hard, tracking back, putting on a good defensive shift. And he concedes another penalty. And a lot of people saying that's not a penalty, that's soft. Yeah, it's soft, but there was connection. And I'm real, like, that's given, because I would be screaming for it for my player. Didn't touch the ball. Player went down, made a meal of it, which you expect. It's a penalty. For me, that was a penalty because he made connection with the player in the box.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. Especially in Europe, we know it's a bit softer refereeing. My only annoyance is the referee was basically awful.
He was dreadful. He was dreadful.
Yeah, like I agree. I think that was a penalty, but the fact that he was giving them so many soft fouls,
Yeah.
like for instance, Gravenberch's booking, like if that was a Real Madrid person, he gets that foul and then he doesn't get booked for mouthing off. Like Gravenberch shouldn't mouth off. Let's be honest. Well, it was a clear foul, especially in the way he was refereeing that game. Yeah, the referee was god awful. But no, I agree. I agree about Robertson. Like he's probably the one player this season, or one starting player this season, where everyone's like, he clearly looks a bit upgradable. But it is really nice to see as these positive performances still. Obviously, giving away a penalty is not great, but everyone does a bit of dumb stuff. It is softish, but it is probably a penalty, as we say. But to keep a mix of Arda Güler and people and Valverde, who isn't a right back, but he is like one of the best players in the world, or all round players in the world. It's really nice. It's really nice. He didn't have loads of defending to do, but he was picking up the ball. He was good on the ball. He was slotting into midfield a bit, which is not something we usually see Robbo do. But it was just nice to see him have a really nice, confident performance, because it is a bit sad watching certainly the best left back of my lifetime as a Liverpool fan suffer a bit or struggle a bit. It is sad. Now, I'm not saying we don't have to think about replacing him, but it's nice to know it's still in there because, well, Tsimikas is injured. Gomez is probably going to have to fill right back or centre back for the time being, so we need him to step up.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
Have you or someone you know left the behavioral health field? Coming back has its benefits for you and Ohioans in need. We would love to have you back working at a community behavioral health center, and you could earn up to a $3,000 bonus. That's right, a $3,000 bonus. Visit mha.ohio.gov/welcome back and restart your journey today. That's mha.ohio.gov/welcome back.
We do. And I think also, you're right, we do need somebody in there just to kind of manage his minutes, because I think if you're going to get the best out of Robbo, you're going to have to rest him a bit, because obviously his demise or his downfall has clearly been because he's been overplayed. Yeah. Like, you can't deny that. And I agree with you, like, one of the best for me that I watched, so I agree with you on that one. I mean, the Salah penalty, my word, just his movement. Oh my God. Peak Salah.
Did you have a weird feeling when he was taking it? Like, he's just done so well to win it. I'm like, he's probably going to miss that.
You know what? I thought in the Premier League that don't get given for it.
That's true. That's true. They would have blocked him for diving there, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God, he got a penalty. Really? Like, wow.
But, I mean, it just shows the form he's in. Like, he absolutely roasted Ferland Mendy. Like, I know Ferland Mendy's he's probably one of the upper echelon left backs. Like, I think he's probably a bit overrated because of FIFA. And I mean, if people don't play FIFA or whatever, EAFC now, he's fast, so he's everyone's left back. But I think people do overrate him a bit because of that. But Mo Salah absolutely roasted him to the point that he got subbed off. And he's like, yeah, it's a shame he missed the penalty, but Mo was phenomenal last night, I thought. Like, he really was. Like, the penalty would have been the cherry on the cake, but yeah, I mean, Mo Salah's just on a different level now. Like, genuinely, I think we say this like every year, especially when he starts the season so well, But I genuinely think this is the best version of Mo Salah I've ever seen.
I mean, I watched the game on TNT Sport. I wanted to see me at TNT Sport. And my favourite, well, if there is a favourite part of Mo Salah's miss was the camera panning to his wife and his child, and I think maybe a relative, maybe a brother, and they just looked so shocked that he missed them. And it was like, yeah, we're the same. You know what?
The shocking thing about that is Martin Skirtle was in front of them, and I didn't recognise him till this morning. Watched it.
I missed him as well. His daughter was just flabbergasted that he missed, and his wife was just in shock. But yeah, that was a nice little moment to that. But let's just talk about some of the. We scored 2 goals there, and I thought both of them were really well worked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The work by Curtis Jones, who we'll probably have to have a chat about as well, is down the left was just fantastic, just running with the ball, releasing the ball at the right time as well, which has been a big criticism of Curtis in previous seasons, but I think he's finally getting there with that. Nice pass to Bradley, first time pass from Bradley to Mac. Fantastic finish, considering the save Courtois made like a minute before as well. Yeah, just super uber quality in front of goal, and I think it's been a bit of a weird season from McAllister. Like, I don't think he hit the heights he did last year. He's been really good, and I think he's still really important to how we play. Like, I think we see a difference when he's not there.
Oh, the Southampton game, I thought the sub of him coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Just completely changed us.
Absolutely.
He needed that rest. But I agree with you. Today, he was a little bit everywhere. And, just finding that ball, like we spoke about, the Bradley one, just looking up and just pinging it, trying to unlock the defence. He's got that in his locker. I thought the midfield balance was really good, despite, the likes of Camavinga being there, and him being injured and subbed off was a big part as well.
Yeah.
In how the game unfolded. But yeah, I agree with you on Curtis Jones. Talk to me about Curtis Jones, because he is just impressing everybody, and myself included, because I was a doubter everywhere he was yesterday.
Yeah, I was probably a doubter as well. I think there was like a debate 3 seasons ago. It's like, he probably needs a loan. I think everyone was thinking, he's got injury issues, you're not going to break in the side whilst we've got Fabinho, Henderson, yada, yada, yada. And he took that chance under Klopp in 22-23 when we were awful. And you thought, okay, this is when his Liverpool career starts. Last season, injury issues and a bit of in and out of the side at times. Whereas this season, again, new manager, he's obviously kind of the focus. In pre-season, he obviously does that press conference, doesn't he? I'm really looking forward to working under Arne Slot, because he plays through the midfield a bit more. And boy, we've seen that. Jones, I think, has just been phenomenal. Like, I think all the midfield's been great.
Yeah.
Like, even someone like Endo, he's playing a role. He'll obviously want to play more, but even when he comes on, he's doing his job really well. But, like, I think Jones, he might be beyond the point of breakout star, but in terms of, like, the overall sphere of football, he might be a breakout star, because...
Do we call him the new manager glow-up player?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it, because I think if you asked like a neutral fan, like let's just say a random Brighton fan or whatever, and you asked them about Curtis Jones, they'd probably be like, yeah, he's all right. Whereas if you give it like a month of him playing like this, it'd be like, why isn't he starting for England? Why isn't he an England mainstay? And it's like, I think he's just like going to be one of those perfect players who can fit in any system under any manager. He's may not always be a starter, because let's be honest, we've got 4 really good midfielders. Like, Szoboszlai's getting a lot of stick this season, or relatively a lot of stick this season, but I think he plays a massive role. He obviously needs to do more on the ball. I think everyone agrees with that. But I think Jones is just so versatile and so excellent, because when he's playing deeper, he's linking the play really well. He runs with the ball. He's picking passes better and quicker, as I mentioned earlier. I think as a 10, if he plays like he did against Chelsea, that's phenomenal. He could probably get there if he plays the 10 a bit more. But I think he just suits that deeper position to a T. Like, I know he kind of they kind of took turns going forward last night, didn't they? There wasn't really like, if it was Dom, he'd obviously play forward a lot more. I just think this, I'll go with breakout star, but I think this is his breakout season to announce himself to other fan bases, really, because I think he's just getting so consistent. And as much as I love Dom, it's going to be harder and harder for him to get back in the team with him. He'll still play a massive amount of minutes because we need to rotate him there. But yeah, Jones is probably our best performing midfielder at the minute, which is a weird sentence to say considering McAllister was our player of the season last year. Gravenberg's probably been the breakout player this season. And Dom was the big, expensive, shiny toy.
Yeah. It's quite a nice position to be in so far. And I love the fact that, Gakpo come on. And I just love the fact that he had the most cleanest, freest header to just calm us down. Even though, I did not celebrate the first goal like I did when Moslas got, when we were 2-0 up against them in the Champions League last time, because I learned from that. So I was just like, just stay cool, just stay calm. I know we're on, I know we're in a healthy position in the Champions League, but I still want to beat these. I don't know, it felt quite personal, if that makes sense. And for him to just kind of score that goal, it was, again, well worked as well from the corner, really smart. Their defender's in no man's land. He just leaps up and scores the header. And for me, Guy, I don't know if you saw it, but my highlight from that goal was when they all went off to celebrate, Konate affectionately kissing his head.
Jealous. Oh, no, it's really... It's nice that we took a short corner because the rest of our corners were awful. Yeah, especially Robbo's. Bless him. Yeah, it's always nice to score an easy goal like that, isn't it? Especially against Madrid. I think they had Modric marking Gakpo, and I know Gakpo's not really the best in the air for his size, but I'm like, you must have someone bigger than Modric to mark Gakpo. Bless him. Yeah. It's weird. When we went 2-0 up, I was just like, this game's over. They just didn't look. They didn't look like scoring at all.
Did they have a shot on target till late in the second half, right?
I think the penalty was the only one till some weak ass shots in the last couple. I think they had one decent.
Easy for Kelleher too. Just kind of Yeah,
absolutely. Which just showed
toothlessness of him.
Basically, yeah. I think as soon as Camavinga went off, the game was done. Yeah. I think he stopped that game in the first half being a rout, I think.
Yeah, he did.
And Courtois.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, some big saves from Courtois as well in that game. I also feel like we have to give a big shout out to the Anfield faithful. What an atmosphere. It's like a cauldron of noise.
It really was. It really was. And obviously, we as a fan base, get criticised for overhyping the crowd at times, but I don't think the crowd ever lets us down in big Champions League nights. Obviously, sometimes it's going to be tough when you're playing Bologna, but the Bologna game was fine enough. But if it's an easy Champions League game, it's not going to be as big as Real Madrid. But when we get these big events, it never fails to deliver. From minute one, it was on it. We had the Bradley tackle, went up another couple decibels. We get the goals. We get the Mo Salah penalty miss, which was quite loud as well for just pure shock. But no, it was an excellent atmosphere. And it is really special when it's on. And obviously we've got Man City at the weekend, which I'm 99% sure is at Anfield. So we'll probably get something like that again, or you hope they will. But no, the Anfield crowd's just bloody excellent. I mean, I don't get to go enough. But sharing the League Cup final, for example, last year, but this year, when it's on, it I don't think it's matched in this country, and it's probably not matched by many in Europe.
Absolutely right. You spoke about Man City there, so let's talk about who Liverpool have got up next. Man City 3, Feyenoord 3. I'm going to be honest with you, I was kind of dabbling in the sporting game. I couldn't be bothered getting onto Prime. I don't know why. I just thought City were going to win this, and it looked that way. They were 3-0 up. And then some absolute defensive brain fart moments in 15 minutes. The They draw. Did they lose? It's a positive.
It's kind of not.
I was shocked.
Thing is, I was watching the goal show because, well, the Bayern game was boring, and Arsenal, by the time
It was dreadful. I was just so uninspired. I can't lie.
Yeah, I was like flicking between, the goal show's actually on the telly, I'll put that on.
Who was on?
Who was on?
Was it Joe Cole?
Oh, God, it was. No, he was on the one afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Was it Hargreaves?
Ah, okay.
I can't even bloody remember. That's how much attention I was paying.
Yeah, that's how inspiring they were.
I'm guessing because I didn't realise this was on Prime, but I wouldn't have put it on anyway because it was 3-0 up by the time I bloody realised it was on. They didn't really cover this game all that much, and I was sat there, I was like, okay, nothing's really happening. And then I looked, because they have like a thing at the bottom with all the goals, like, it's 3-0? When the hell did that happen? I just can't, but I can't believe, like, as a fan base, we obviously have so much PTSD surrounding Man City for many different reasons. But watching them suffer gives me life.
Yeah.
Like,
subs were big in that as well when he obviously took off his players and brought on De Bruyne and the two youngsters.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when the game kind of went on its head because people like Gvardiol were kind of overcompensating, and Edison was trying to really overcompensate by getting out of his line really quick and getting beat by his near post. It was a bit of a shit show.
It really was, and I think it's kind of mad that the people who let them down is Gvardiol, who's probably been their best player this season, and Edison, who, whether you rate him or not, he is one of the world's best keepers, either by reputation or by actual performance. But for Edison, Jesus, like getting beat at his near post where it bounces to the back post, just rushing out for no reason. I just don't understand. I don't understand. You're playing an Eredivisie side. You're 3-0 up. You're on this historic losing streak, especially for Pep Guardiola. Bring it on, kids. Yeah, needs must, because you've obviously kind of got a thin squad at the minute. But God, to let that slip, it probably would have been, like, even if they just went out and got tonked or just lost like 2-0 comfortably, this is probably worse. Because you feel like this moment of relief is there. You're finally winning a game after so long with the added international break as well. And then to bottle a 3-0 lead to I think, third place Dutch team. No, I don't want to say anything stupid because we play them at the weekend and they'll jinx it or whatever.
Yeah, they might be just saving their energy.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be the most Man City thing to do.
Absolutely. And this result doesn't really matter too much because Man City have 3 games left and I think they're still in the automatic promotion qualification places. But this was the one to end the slump. It really was. And maybe they save it for the weekend and have an all-timer performance at Anfield. But just something seems wrong. And the Pep like scratched up face and the head.
So glad you went there because that was very yeah. And saying he did it to himself, or that's what's been going around. I didn't catch his interview.
Well, he said, I don't know if he jokingly said it. He said, obviously, I want to hurt myself. Like he's this obsessive character, and he's probably like just naturally scratching himself or picking at his skin or whatever when his team's not doing what he wants to be. But he's obviously, as a man, he's never gone through something like this. So it's a first-time experience for him, unless Barcelona B all the way back in the day were awful.
Yeah.
But I just... It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, it's something we've not experienced since Man City have been good. But like, that Pep Guard, it's unhealthy behaviour. Like, figure out how to deal with stress, because there's people with proper stress, not just losing football matches. But yeah, it was a very weird situation with Pep afterwards, wasn't it?
It was, and I think you're right. I think he's a bit random with the press, and especially when they have to lose, and his comments are a bit bizarre. But shout out to Feyenoord for chanting Arne Slot's name and singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the Etihad. That's always an added bonus. Yeah, we like that. And I know it goes up in your hipster teams. Let's talk about one of your hipster teams. Sporting 1, Arsenal 5. Arsenal took the early lead here. And I thought, yeah, Sporting have got form. They'll come back. I was really intrigued to see how they do without Amorim as well. And they just got absolutely annihilated. I thought Odegaard was just having absolute joy, gave Saka so much space to kind of, orchestrate and do what he wants to do on the right-hand side. That's where all the threat was. This was a really, really good away performance by Arsenal.
It really was. It really was. And I think the way they obviously Sporting beat Man City in the previous round.
What I was looking at, I watched it.
Exactly that. And like you look at the team, like I'm obviously not massively in the know with Portuguese football, but it looks like their first choice 11, maybe a couple of rotated players or whatever. Whereas Arsenal, it's basically their first choice. There's a couple of players there you could probably swap in and out. Arsenal were just different levels.
Hey guys, it's Eddie Gibbs from Anfield Index here. I hope you're enjoying this podcast, and I'm sorry to call time on the show before it ends. In the current climate, it's tougher than ever before to offer podcasts for free. At Anfield Index, we produce over 75 free shows every month, which I'm confident is unparalleled in the LFC sphere. Whilst we'd love to offer everything for free, the production costs now make this impossible. That said, we don't want to follow the model of other channels and lock all of our content behind a paywall. So what we've decided to do is to continue offering every show for free, but cut that offering to 30 minutes on our longer shows. So to get all of our shows in full and enjoy the best of everything we have to offer, we really hope you'll consider supporting the channel and signing up at AnfieldIndexPro.com. For about the price of 1 cup of coffee, you'll get every podcast in full with 0 ads. You'll also get access to our LFC VIP community, where you can enjoy live podcasts, engage with our podcasters, and chat with other Reds in real time. So that website again, AnfieldIndexPro.com. Join today.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Join me, Hillary Frederick, and guests from AWS, the United States Army, the Department of Homeland Security, Veterans Affairs, and the Department of Commerce as we drive innovation for the federal government. It's a total experience. Click through to the latest episode.